Welcome back, comrades. This is MF Kraven, and you're watching Less Than 10 Minute Reviews, the YouTube series where I take a look at games I think seem cool and give my thoughts on them in less than 10 minutes. Disclaimer: before I start my review, I tested the game out for about a month to see how alive it would remain after launch. On average, it took me about 45 seconds to find a game. I timed around 50 games. The longest it took me to find was 3 minutes, but restarting my console and looking for another match took me about 20 seconds. The study was solely on my experience on what I believe to be US West servers in the span of 4 weeks on both Steam and Xbox Series X. Today, I take a look at the latest PvP FPS game to hit the market, Deceive Inc. I say the latest, but you guys heard my disclaimer right before this. It's usually the first month of the game being alive that will test whether or not it will continue. Review key was given to me by Tripwire on Steam, and I didn't know it until it was too late, but the game is cross-platform, so instead of playing with my friends while I was on my PC, I bought the Xbox Series X copy as well. But is a game full of spies, all trying to do the same task at the same location worth a buy? Let's find out. Graphics, sound, and art style. Everything about this game is pleasing to my eyes. The character models, the music, the setting, the spies all seem real cool, and the amount of customization, albeit via loot boxes, are plenty. Gameplay. There are 2 queues, either you fly solo or in a team of 3. Currently, there are 9 agents to choose from and 4 archetypes. Each archetype, Vanguard, Tracker, Disruptor, and Scoundrels, all have abilities akin to their name. Vanguards are good for combat. Trackers are good for tracking other spies, Disruptors mess with the heist location, and Scoundrels, well, they're up to no good, making you fall in love and disappearing just like every other date I had in my 20s. Each agent has a weapon, expertise skill, and passive ability which spices up the playstyle. Every character can be unlocked using in-game currency, and most cosmetics can be unlocked the same way too. Every game is divided into 3 phases: insertion, infiltration, and extraction. You start by spawning in a random location and with a stolen identity. It is up to you and your teammates, when applicable, to hack the vault terminal in the insertion phase while other spies are doing the same. This is where the real meat and potatoes of the game comes in. You have to act like an NPC, sit down, do remedial tasks, drink, blend in, and if you see anyone you deem suspicious, attack. Once the 3 vault terminals have been hacked, a vault with an ultra-secret prototype, or the thing you were hired to steal, unlocks. Here comes the infiltration phase. Be wary of security rooms or labs that will have you needing to be disguised as a respective color. Green for staff, blue for security, purple for lab, and gold for VIP. Otherwise, you will be outed as an agent. Once you, your teammate, or someone in-game retrieves the package, it is off to the races and extraction phase starts. There will be 2 extraction zones, and each one needs to be activated for the package carrier to escape successfully. However, when carrying the package, you are pinged to everyone on the level where you are heading, so either expect trouble at the front or at the extraction zone. You win a game by either extracting the package or eliminating all opposing spies. Price: $19.99 USD. How many hours estimated? Each match can last as long as 30 minutes and as short as 5 depending on how good you are being a spy, and the FPS aspect of it. Across both Xbox and PC, I have around 10-11 hours, and while I enjoy my playthroughs in solo, there's something about team matches that have me wanting more. I estimate myself playing this around minimum another 20 to 30 hours. Is it playable on Steam Deck? While it is playable on Steam Deck, I don't really recommend it, as sometimes you will get timed out unless you have a really good connection, and handheld FPS versus PC players is practically impossible. Final thoughts. Deceive Inc. is a fun game, a game that can make me as paranoid as this has is just special. Oftentimes I shoot innocent civilians under the impression that it's another player, just for another player posing as a chair to come out of nowhere and shoot me in the face. It's the frustration that isn't on a Dark Souls level, but it's a type of frustration that is fun. It'll have you thinking on your feet and making you change up your strategy. I once spent 10 minutes posed as a box with one of the gadget power-ups inside of a room where the gadget was, because I thought I just didn't believe in my abilities to take the package to the extraction site. I had a turret hidden in the corner of a room, and positioned myself in the far left corner, and as soon as somebody came in, I knew they looked like a sussy baka. I started shooting, and my turret did as well. I unalived them, and it felt glorious. With confidence, I took the package, sprinted to the extraction zone, only to be met outside by 3 other players shooting at each other and dying in the crossfire. These type of memorable gaming moments only happen in special games, in my humble opinion. And I love Deceive Inc. for it, but it isn't perfect either. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's best played with friends, and I'm not the best FPS player. In fact, after some life incidents and because I get anxiety, it just renders me useless, so I steered clear from them and chose to dive into RPG strategy and simulation games. While the game is advertised as a spy game, I wish it had more elements of spy to it, instead of feeling like, another FPS. Setting up traps, and not just that little tripwire one, or not an ability by another character, but like an actual trap that renders the player useless for a couple of seconds, using NPC security to bombard your enemies with attacks, maybe a smoke device that will reveal all the spies in a room and not let them take cover for a minute or two. More gadgets, because the most fun I had was literally being inanimate objects while stalking enemies. Instead of a lot of my playthroughs just felt like I was playing another FPS with people calling attention to themselves by shooting in the middle of a crowd, drawing other spies to them. Also, I'm not a big fan of the card system. It just kind of there, makes your spies take cover a little bit more, gives you a little bit of extra ammunition, a little bit of extra health. I don't care for it. I just go with the preset settings, which is kind of a shame since this is supposed to be a fleshed out spy game, But you can win games without even paying attention to that. Then, with the whole feeling like a free-to-play game and having an entry price of $20, and then having a loop season pass plus microtransactions, it's kind of off-putting, not a deal breaker, just a little off-putting. And another thing that I have a big gripe with is that all achievements don't unlock. You clearly saw in this gameplay footage that I killed somebody, but I yet to receive my achievement for killing another spy. Despite my complaints, despite me not being a huge fan of the genre, and despite me not being on board with the microtransactions, I literally bought the game on console. Hell, I bought the Black Tuxedo Edition at $30 because the game is just tons of fun. I hope it is supported as much as it has been in these past couple of weeks. The free weekend was also a nice touch, but the only thing that makes me nervous, and this is only going by the Steam charts, so it doesn't take into account the player count with all systems, is that there's not a lot of players playing Deceive Inc. as much. Still, as a publisher, Tripwire has never really let me down. Killing Floor is great, Road Redemption, Chivalry 2, all great games, and Deceive Inc., I believe, can be churned into one of these great games for future generations to come by. So I'm gonna say, buy it now.